Good morning. Have I got a garden tour for you? My name is Lisa and I make gardening videos on YouTube and sometimes nature videos too. And today it's a windy garden tour Saturday on Vancouver Island. This collaboration is hosted by Grandma Sandy. Go check her out. And there are a lovely co-hosts. I'm going to list some of them on the screen under the hashtag Garden Tour Saturday on YouTube. This week has been absolutely incredible with changes in my garden, and I'm going to show you something that is going to probably make your eyes pop a little or raise your eyebrows. But before we get to the real eye popper, I'm going to show you something that popped my eyes that I wasn't expecting. So we are headed to a little area of the property that I don't show too often on this channel. It's not super beautiful. It's one area that has received very little attention, and yes, it is on my radar, but I just haven't put too much time and effort and energy into this section yet. But that is about to change very soon, and I'll tell you why. Because, let's turn the camera. This is one of my only large trees on this property. It is an arbutus tree. And on Vancouver Island, these are actually protected trees. In order to cut them down, you have to have special permission, and I do love this tree, but ever since I bought this property, I had some concerns. If you watched my very first garden tour on this property before I touched the ground at all or did any changes, I was already very concerned about this tree. I don't know how to insert those clips from back then, but I'll add a little link probably up here in the cards to my first garden tour here. If you want to check it out, this tree is in that video. And I want to show you the status of the tree now. I was concerned that a fungal infection or possibly a fire had happened to this tree, whether it was intentional or unintentional, and caused significant damage to it. And I recently decided to investigate what was going on, because I found if I put my foot into the soil here, it keeps going. This is quite an unusual situation. Like, I can just keep putting my foot in and it's gonna keep going. And that was getting concerning to me. I did that in a few places, and I wondered what was going on with the tree. So I started digging and moving the bark around with my hands, and I discovered it was very frail. And I actually put my hand through the trunk of the tree, the base of the trunk of the tree. I mean, this bark is just, this is not what arbutus tree bark is supposed to look like. It's supposed to look more like, well, it's all shed on this section, but this is typical bark of the arbutus tree that is maybe a little bit got something going on, but more realistic looking. But down here, there is a serious problem with this tree. Come around this side. That's the other side of the hole. Now, this is kind of fun for a fairy garden situation, but for a safety and property longevity situation, probably not the best situation that is happening here. So this week I took the time to contact the city to get an arborist to come out and check out this tree. They have not gotten back to me yet. I don't know what the holdup is, but in order to do any kind of massive pruning or, in the worst case scenario, tree removal, you do have to contact the local arborists that work for the city, at least on Vancouver Island. I'm assuming the different municipalities are all the same. I don't know. But because the trees are protected, it's not as simple as bringing out a chainsaw or calling a tree company to remove the tree. There is a bit of a process. And I don't really want to remove this tree, but I also don't want it to come down. And with a hole like that, I would suspect this tree is dying a slow death and unfortunately probably needs to come down. So now we are going to head to the biggest development you see here. This was a much bigger pile a few days ago, and I'm going to insert a video clip I filmed when it was first delivered here. This was 8 yards of gravel. This just happened. The first delivery of rocks. This is 8 yards of gravel. This is a base layer for my rock garden. There's going to be decorative gravel going on top. And this might be the first load. There might actually be another 8 or 9 yards required. This is a good sized property and a massive rock garden, rock situation that is being created. But this is going to take a lot of wheelbarrows to create this rock garden. Stay tuned. And now we are going to venture into the biggest development of the week. If you're new here, I bought this 9,000 square foot property last fall on central Vancouver Island, and I am giving it a full makeover, creating a cat-friendly rock garden in my front yard, and we're going to check out the progress. We are now in what is going to be my brand new cat-friendly rock garden. I'll give you a little different perspective. Here it is. It is not even close to being finished, but this is just one view of the updates from this week. I cannot believe the brightness that all of this gravel adds to this garden space. At night, it illuminates it. It is pretty wild. We're just gonna take a walk down and take in the full effects of this rockery. It is pretty outstanding. I did have a vision for it, but I had no idea this is what it was going to look like, and it's been blowing my mind. Let me tell you, when I see the colors, I am just mind blown. This is more mind blowing than the first rock garden I created 10 years ago. No, not 10 years ago, like 7 years ago or something at my last property. This is just, holy crap, outstanding. I'm not even close to being finished with the design, but wow, I love the colors. There are lots of different plants planted here. These are yuccas, just starting to put on new growth. These are rock crest ground covers that I got for free on Facebook Marketplace. And I recently added a wine and spirits wheelgia. Now this is not typically a drought tolerant plant, so I don't know how it's going to do out here. This is a hot to dry location, but we're going to give it a try. If it doesn't survive, it's not the end of the world. It was clearance, so not too much lost. In this bed, there are a ton of hen and chicks, and I have a big secret. This rock garden, you cannot see it yet, but I have planted a ton of poppies, particularly California poppies, out in this region of the rock garden. California poppies are notorious for being super drought tolerant and require very little maintenance. They self-seed like nobody's business. I can get them growing in this section. Oh my God, I will have won the rock garden lotto. So, picture this in your mind, a whole bunch of vibrant orange and red shades popping out of this white gravel. I am so excited to see if this comes to fruition. I think it might, and I do have some other flower seeds and wildflowers that I have sporadically placed in this section of the rock garden. I am so excited to see if this is going to come to life. And I have another little secret. The neighbors don't know, and the mailman doesn't know, but he's going to be in for a surprise. Right over here, I have a little corner lot, and this is the power pole. Now, you may be wondering, why am I showing you a power pole? What is that significant to my garden? Well, this was a hot mess when I moved here. It was a massive blackberry, let's call it grove, mixed in with a tree that was both alive and dead. The new growth is coming back. This is going to be removed. But I wanted to create this. I wanted to turn this little, let's call it blind spot when you were driving that didn't look very good into something beautiful. And here's the secret. Don't tell the mailman. The mailbox is right here. The mailman doesn't know this yet. This is going to be a mini wildflower garden right here. The makings of it have already started to grow. All of these things right here, these sprouts, these are wildflower sprouts. I put them in during the winter and they are growing. I'm not sure actually what this is. It's a mixture, but it looks like there's one predominant flower and I don't know what it is, but I think this is going to look spectacular in a few months from now. I also added, just for fun, a few little daffodils in the late fall, early winter. They're about to bloom. And I'm planning to add a few more wildflower mixes here and create just a carpet of color right in front of the mailbox. I wanted to share that with you because I wanted to show that you can take a garden space that maybe isn't even fully yours and turn it into something beautiful. Stay tuned because this little section of ground is going to look very beautiful. Now let's get into the cat-friendly changes in the rock garden this week. Last week I showed you the section of garden that I had added all these little sensory items for the cats I'm trying to attract. And this week I was working on this flower bed, adding some accents and cat-friendly items. So we have some little pathways for leaping. This is a new little beach log I got down on the beach. And what I liked about this log, I'm not sure the position it's going to end up permanently. It might be like this. I might angle it over this way a little more. But depending on how it ends up, this could be a little spot for a little cat bed. I could just see the sun shining down on here really brightly, warming up the log. It's very smooth wood. And I could just see a kitty curled up here when the shrubs are grown a little bigger. I think they would really enjoy this little piece of driftwood. Well, it's more of a mini log. And that was for them. And it's also for me when I make videos. I can sit here and use it as a tripod. Multifunctional piece of wood. And I just had to give you this little garden view right here. This is a spirea shrub that was original to the property. And I just love the red foliage it's putting out right now. The fresh spring growth is just so beautiful. And I cannot wait to see a lot of these other shrubs come alive. A lot of them you can barely see. I planted these all in the fall. They were like smoking good deals at a Canadian Tire store that put their garden stuff on like massive clearance, like 80% off a lot of things. So the deals I got were out of this world. And many of these shrubs that I've planted here, although I do know some of the names, many of them had no labels. So they're a complete surprise to me what is growing here. And I cannot wait to find out what these surprises are. I'm going to take you along for the journey. Thank you so much for joining me on Garden Tour Saturday. It is my favorite day of the week. And we will see you soon, possibly tomorrow, with another gardening video. I hope you have a lovely weekend. Bye-bye. You guys, I was just about to go in the house and wrap up my Garden Tour Saturday video, and I remembered I had something so exciting to share with you I didn't put in the video. So we are taking a little intermission and going to add this video clip somewhere to Garden Tour Saturday because I am over the moon excited about it and you need to know. Check this out right here. I am so excited about this and this. Now, you might wonder, why would this be exciting to me? If you are new here, I also have a houseplant collection and I have a fetish for cactuses. But let me tell you, these are no ordinary houseplant cactuses. Yesterday, I was outside. My parents were here. They've been helping me a lot with the rock garden work. I injured myself on the first day of wheelbarrow and bucket hauling, and they have been coming over regardless of the fact that I haven't been doing as much hauling of anything recently, helping out. And they said that one of the neighbors stopped to chat with them and offered some cactuses from their garden to come to my garden if I wanted them. I was not there at the time. I didn't know which neighbor it was, but I said, absolutely, if you see them again, tell them I would love to have cactuses in my garden. And lo and behold, they stopped by that same day and gave these cactuses to me, and they are going to be so perfect for that new rock garden. I am going to plant them probably later today and get them in the ground. Normally, I don't love prickly cactuses, but I don't care. Cactuses are kind of a fetish I have, and I am so excited to have them. I think they're going to thrive in my rock garden situation. So I am going to keep you posted in the next garden tour Saturday. You are going to see them in the rock garden. And that is it. That was the exciting new development I needed to share with you, because you guys appreciate plants more than people in my real life. So thank you for listening to my little excited rant about cactus.